What's going on? We back. This Motor City Sports Talk in the building, man. Definitely wanted to hop on this Saturday and make it a regular basis live stream thing. So I'm gonna always go live on Saturdays until the season start, man. I got some great things planned for the channel. That hopefully, I can help sew these things up and make these things official. So I won't say nothing, but it should be exciting when it comes out. If I get the deal done, and we'll have a good time this season. Hopefully, if the Lions can provide the sauce so we can win. But we talk about Kerryon Johnson, Detroit Lions running game today. And for my Pistons heads, I'll do a video later. Jason Kidd has interviewed for the Detroit Pistons job. So they let Jeff Bowers go today. And they must be honing in on GM slash president of basketball operations. So shout out to the Pistons. I think the former Dookie Tejan Langdon is probably gonna get the job. That's what I'm hearing. So maybe they just negotiating with him, and hopefully they sign that GM before they sign the head coach. That'd be important. But we're talking about the Detroit Lions today, man, and uh, you know, I seen an interesting article in the Freak, because I don't do the Detroit news right now after what they did to Matt Patricia, boycotting them, man. You never try to down your own city or your own team, your own city for press clippings and fame, man. That was shame on Detroit news, shame on the writer that broke the news, and shame on the editor that released it. Shame on that whole thing. So I'm looking at the Freep, and they said that the Lions can't let Kerryon Johnson fail like Ameer Abdullah, job at best and pass running backs. And I definitely agree with that, man. They can't let the opportunity, fail him. He got to be good. Now, if he go out there and get injured, you know, and was having a good start, what the scenario gonna be. Well, people gonna look at it if he fails, however his injury or his production, and Darius Geis succeeds over there in the Redskins and other running backs like Ronald Jones that's around that pick area, other running backs, succeed where, he failed at, it's going to be the same old Lions thing. The Lions have to do everything in their power to make sure Kerryon Johnson succeeds with LeGarrette Blount. They have to make sure that duo has a hell of a year. And if they don't, and they fail to have a good year, and they fail to fix the run game, it's the same old Lions. What it's gonna be. The Lions just can't fix the running game. They haven't had 1,000-yard rusher since Reggie Bush, and before that, I believe it was James Stewart. Through all the running backs the Lions had, may it be Kevin Smith, Kevin Jones out of Virginia Tech, may have been James Stewart, who had a good year coming from Jacksonville back in the day, but failed. May it be Joyke Bell, may it be all these running backs they had. It just never really worked. So did they lose Ameer Abdullah to the curb and give Kerryon Johnson prime carries? Yeah, that's definitely have to be the plan, Ian. Unless Ameer Abdullah has a great camp, because Ameer Abdullah is going to have a role in this team regardless if they choose to keep him. He can return kicks, he can return punts, and let's say Theo Riddick goes down, he can do the third down back. So it's going to be a period in this season where Theo Riddick is going to play the slot. They want him to play the slot a lot more from what I hear. So as far as Ameer Abdullah, he gonna be on this roster. I mean, why wouldn't you want Ameer Abdullah on this roster? Because what fourth running back you gonna find better than Ameer Abdullah and the value that he carries in kick in the return game, the kick return game, the punt return game, and out the backfield, and he can line up in the slot as well too and catch some balls. He has too much value to let him walk on the street for the Lions. So the plan is for Kerryon Johnson to get the carries, and everybody say, well, Kerryon Johnson, he runs upright, and he's skinny. The dude is strong. He's like one of the wiry, strong guys. I mean, he got the most yards after contact in college football. He's tough, great stiff arm, and he's a horse. He's a workhorse. He's a 3-down back. I watched it at Auburn. He even could take snaps from the quarterback position to run the ball. He was their everything. Legitimately, he was Auburn's everything. My only problem is, my only issue with it is, does he have enough on the thread? Tires on the thread. He has that Le'Veon Bell type of running style where he has vision. Calm down. He has vision, y'all, unlike other running backs we done had. And he can make the cuts. He can make the moves. You know how you can see some things? Like some of us, guys out there that may not be the athlete, like a Steve Kerr or like other players out there who wasn't the most athletic, but your mind can actually see it, and keep you ahead of the game. Well, with Kerryon Johnson, he can see it, and he has the natural athletic ability to get there. And he's a very patient runner. He's fluid, he glides. He got a hell of a stiff arm, too, and he can break tackles. He can run through arm tackles. You won't see him getting touched on the shoestrings and falling over. So you won't see that with him. Him and LeGarrette Blount should be a hell of a 1-2 punch. And don't forget, LeGarrette Blount has the speed to take it to the house. He may be one of the faster running backs on the team. He always had deceptive, scary, fast speed for a guy that's a runaway freight train. So, and in camp, like I spoke on my other video a couple weeks ago, they going back to basics with vision and with blocking and with running the ball. A run game offensive coordinator, you know, and they also got an new offensive line coach. So they putting the money where they need to put it at, man. They putting the attention on the running game, because how can the running game affect everybody? It does. The running game is field position, you know, for the special teams, the punt game. It's rest for the defense, and for the offense and for Stafford, it's the ultimate, because it's sustained drives. And we know the issue with the Lions is they always have big playability since Calvin Johnson and with Reggie Bush and even in the back in that, was it 2011 when Stafford threw for like 40-something touchdowns. It was because of the run. It was not because they didn't have Bush then, but before that, it was because of they had a lot of explosive plays going down the field. You know, they was never ever really able to sustain drives, and that's still the issue. We never been able to sustain drives with a running game. You sustain drives because you hand them off, you get 4 or 5 yards on first down. I mean, when you get the 3rd and 6 and 2nd and 6 and 2nd and 5, playbook opens up. You know, you can take a shot down deep because you at a reasonable distance. You can go for the first down right there. The defense don't know what you're gonna do. Shit, you can hand it off and get another 3 or 4 yards and make it 3rd and short. So the running game actually it protects Matthew Stafford from punishment. It cuts his dropbacks down, and he's a top 5 play action quarterback. It would take him as the number 1 play action quarterback, and it's sustained drives. We able to keep the drives rolling. You know, it's no more throw it on 3 downs and come up short. No, because the defense has to pay attention. 3rd and 2nd. They got 3rd and 3rd. They got to respect the run now. 3rd and 2nd. They really got to respect the run. 3rd and 1st and 3rd is short. They have to really respect it. So that opens up passing lanes for Matthew Stafford, and it keeps the defense rested. You know, it wears out the other offense and keeps our defense rested as well. I mean, it wears out the other defense. So it's really, really imperative for Kerryon Johnson to do good, because he's basically like Bob Quinn's golden goose. Because if you remember, he passed up Dalvin Cook last year. He passed up on Alvin Kamara. He passed up on the running back from the Green Bay Packers, whose name Jamal Williams, who went 6th, 7th round. So if Bob Quinn finally drafts a running back and skipped over several good running backs last year, and Kerryon Johnson don't work, you know, it's gonna be same old Lions again. So who do you see being a running back by committee, the whole group, or do you see it? I think it's gonna be a tag. I mean, I'm gonna put it to you this way: it's gonna be a tag team between Blount and Kerryon Johnson eventually. But I think theoretically, like I said, it's gonna play a lot in the slot. You know, you might see some times where Reddick and Blount and Reddick and Kerryon Johnson might line up in the same offensive formation. Might be theoretic as a back split to the other side with Kerryon Johnson. You might see Kerryon Johnson in the backfield, theoretic, you know, to the slot receiver. Then you might see it line up like that, and then you might see theoretic shifting to the backfield. You know, you never know. They're gonna get creative, man. Bob Cooter, his career is on the line. You know, his job is on the line. So you're going to see him get creative. And did Jim Caldwell hold him back? We'll talk about that towards the end of the video. If I forget, just comment. That's a video I want to do in its own separate right, because I never got an opportunity to rebuff that video. I think I did it a long time ago. So I want to talk on that again. But yeah, Kerryon Johnson has to succeed, man. He has to. You know, and the Lions, you know, he's the perfect fit for the Lions. The Lions want that Le'Veon Bell type back, and that's what he is. You know, he ain't the fastest. You know, he ain't the quickest. But he's smart. He has vision. He's tough. He's a tough kid. And arm tackles won't bring him down. You want a running back who runs a 4.5, whatever, 1.451, 4.52, 5.53. He has good speed. That's good speed. You know what I'm saying? Le'Veon Bell is a 4.5 guy as well. That's good speed. But you want him to be able to be tough and durable. And if you watch Kerryon Johnson, and I never watched Auburn to watch Kerryon Johnson. I watched Auburn because they had a good team this year. I stayed down in Montgomery, Alabama. It wasn't far from Auburn and Tuskegee and that whole area. And obviously Alabama Crimson Tide, who takes over the whole state as well with Auburn. I just got keen to watch Auburn play. It was always on TV. Alabama was always on TV. So those were good SEC games back in 2008, 2009, 10. I used to watch. So anytime Alabama Auburn play, I will still watch him play to this day. Like I still stay in the state of Alabama. So I watched him play, and I was very, very impressed about what he brought to the table. Honestly, I was impressed. You know, I said, who is this kid? You know, he was tired as hell because he was the offense. I mean, shit, he was probably taking 30, 35 carries, 35, 35, 6, 37 touches a game. He was everything. He was playing quarterback, lining up in a wildcat. He was lining up as a running back. He was catching the ball at the backfield. I say, shit, that guy can play, man. That guy can play. That's the guy I like on the Lions. Stafford with a good run game will lead to a top 5 offense. Exactly, Music Man. 2010. I'm sorry, 2010, 20 men. I can't say your name. It's a long name. It's all together, but exactly. That's the number 1 offense, to be honest. That's the number 1 offense. Imagine if the Lions should run the ball like they did with Ameer Abdullah versus Minnesota last year. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't flashy. And versus the Giants, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't flashy. But it was effective. And you need the running game to be effective enough to counterpart the offense to get over the top. Imagine you're a defensive coordinator. You got Blount, Johnson. They run the ball good. But also you got Marvin Jones on the outside, Golden Tate in the slot, Kenny Galladay on the other outside, and Luke Wilson and Michael Robinson on the tight ends, whoever you want to play. And not only that, you got Theo Reddick who can play the slot as well. That's a dangerous offense. That's a very dangerous offense that you can get creative with. And they can do a lot. They can do a lot with this offense, man. It's just they got to just do basic fundamentals about running the ball. And some of their run game, some of the runs that they was running, were very bland and basic. It was no power. It was no pulling of the guards. It was no pulling of the center. It was nothing of power. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing of force. They ran the ball like a finesse throwing team. And I think that's another issue. You have to run the ball like you want to impose your will on the defense. You want to go downhill. You want to get your offensive lineman going downhill and confident and pushing the defense back. And once that happens, you do play action, they bite on the run, go over the top. Or you can just continue to hand the ball off 30, 40 times a game. And if they can't stop it, I wouldn't throw the ball. You know, you preserving your quarterback and Stafford dropping back 30, 40, 50 times a game, that has to stop. It has to stop at all means. They have to find a way to get Blount to get the ball rolling and Kerryon Johnson out. A lot of people say, where did Ameer Abdullah come in at this? If you're just coming in, he's going to be a utility back. He's going to be a safety net. He's going to be a punt returner, kick returner. He's going to be lined up in the slot, third down back sometime with Theo Reddick. And the issue I had with Ameer Abdullah is, obviously he couldn't break tackles. Obviously the offensive line wasn't the best. I say that. But also his vision was terrible. Like, he didn't want to go in the trenches. At every waking moment he ran the ball, it was always to the outside, to the point where Bob Cooter was like, shit, we just going to give him outside runs. And to be a successful top 10 running team, outside runs can be the staple of your running game, your running scheme. You have to get north and south to be able even to go on the outside, because linebackers, defensive ends, and safeties are too athletic, and now you got corners who looking like safeties and linebackers now who can pull up and do run support. So it's tough to exclusively think you're gonna run outside run plays. So you give it to Ameer Abdullah to run inside, he automatically bounces outside, and those linebackers are there. You know, you got guys like Tevin Smith for the Jaguars who run like a receiver in the corner. You got linebackers like Ryan Shazier who runs like a receiver in the corner themselves. So you're not going to do a lot of outside runs. The only way you can get an outside run going if you get north and south, and then you get the defense to commit on the inside and go outside, man. And with Kerryon Johnson, he can go in the trenches, and he got vision. So it's up to the Hogs up front to do what they do. To press and press the attack and get upfield and get to the second level, get to the third level. And the issue with that is scheme. It was never the offensive lineman really fought. Because Greg Robinson, he can run block, even though he sucked last year. In pass protection, he can run block. Run blocking is not a hard thing in the NFL to do. The sorry running teams could run block. It's just the fact that pass blocking is hard. Because you putting those big fellas on their back toes, on their heels, and you asking them to block the best defensive ends, outside linebackers in the game. Twists, stunts, that's tough. To run block, they love run blocking big fellas. The Lions didn't have a scheme, man. They didn't have a scheme, I'm sorry. Ian Schafter says it'll be interesting to see how KJ blocks in the NFL. That'll be key. It will be key. I don't know too much about his blocking. It wasn't a knock on his scouting report, so playing at Auburn, they actually had a quarterback that can walk and chew bubblegum and throw the ball this year. So I would say he'd probably be good in blocking. I don't think the Lions would pick him up if he wouldn't, or something they can teach him, though. But Like I said, this is a huge pick for the Lions. Man, I think, to be honest, this is the biggest pick they picked this year. He has the most on his shoulders, and luckily he got 3 other veteran running backs that can help him out, and Reddick and Dula and LeGarrette Blount and even Zach Zenner, because this is the missing key for the Lions. I'm gonna tell you this: the Lions defense. I don't know about this new guy Pasciani, who ain't called plays in the NFL, whatever his name is, for 10 years. But call me crazy, the Lions are built for a Super Bowl run, man. Last year they was built for a Super Bowl run, but they couldn't run the ball. That's the issue. They can't run the ball. And they got the punter. They said the punter is booting 50-yard kicks now. They got the kicker, Matt Prater. He earns his buffs every Sunday. They got the quarterback. They got the receivers. Now you add a stability in the offensive line. Now you add focus on the offensive line. They should be able to do this year, man. You know, they should be able to preserve Stafford for late season runs, a clean bill of health Stafford, a clean pocket for Stafford, because when you're able to run the ball and you're able to have balance, the defense don't know if you're running, throwing it, reverse, whatever you want to do, screen plays, they don't know what you want to do. So Jim Bob Cooter, if they can able to run the ball this year, his play calling should get a lot better. And if he mixes it up, it's some games that, honestly, Stafford shouldn't have to drop back more than 15, 16, 17 times. He shouldn't have to drop back like that, because they can hand that ball off to them and to the running backs and just plow down the field, you know, impose their will. The Lions have to get out the mindset that they're a finesse throwing team. Scrap that. If I'm Patricia, I want people to know. I want to go into the offensive room and say, look here, we not a finesse team. That shit is done. It's done. I don't want to be a finesse team no more on offense. I want to be a smash mouth, punch you in the mouth. I want to run the ball 80% in the first half. 80% of our plays or 70% of our plays should be runs if we can help it. And I want to enforce our will on the team in the first half, and then we open up the playbook for the second half. He got to change the mindset and the culture of that room, man. Need Ziggy to stay healthy and play every game. Yeah, that's defense. Yeah, we can talk about that. Yeah, I mean, it's up to him, man. If he signed that tender, I don't know if he signed the tender yet, but it's up to him. If he want to stay healthy, I mean, he ain't got a long-term contract. I think Patricia, he doesn't need a star rusher. So we see what Kyrie Hyde look like. His pressure is all blitz schemes and just you know playing your lanes and discipline. He has a scheme, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes. But give him a Ziggy Ansah and see what happens. He didn't have a Ziggy Ansah last year on the Patriots. The year before that either. You know what I'm saying? They traded all the top Jamie Collins type of outside linebacker rusher. So it'll be interesting to see what they do as far as the defense. I think I'm very, very interested in that, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Here we go, 20 minutes again. We have probably the best special teams in the NFL right now. If our offense can run the ball, then, excuse me, I'm reading my phone, then that would take a ton of pressure off of the defense. 2 play touchdowns have got to stop. Yeah, for sure. The special teams, like he said, I never thought of it that way, but he's right. With Jamal Agnew, Prater, and Sam Martin booting 50-yard punts, yeah. They got the ultimate special teams crew. And it's time for the Lions to really run the ball. That's the last point of the Lions being really, really good. Because they got everything else, as far as enough to get there. They don't have to have a star-studded defense. Because Philly didn't have a star-studded defense last year. Philly defense was good. It was disciplined. But come on. Who can you name in the Philadelphia Eagles secondary, that's better than Glover Quinn or better than Darius Slay? Malcolm Jenkins is really, really good. But I don't think he's a Glover Quinn in my opinion. Darius Slay is better than Roby in every corner they had out there. So you go to linebacker. Jarrod Davis is going to be huge this year too, man. Huge, Devin Kennard, Christian Jones. This is going to be some huge years for these guys, man. And up front, man, we need to sign that big fella from Jonathan Hankins from Detroit, too. We need to get big fella in here. Because if you can stop the run, you got a chance in this league. Because I know we don't have the greatest pass rushers right now, but our secondary, I like it. I think Deshaun Shedd might beat out Teez Tabor. I don't really know. See what Teez coming with, but good run game leads to good defense. The more rest that defense got, the better. Hey, you remember that with the Cowboys, 20 man. With the Cowboys, it was the same thing. The Cowboys was terrible before they got Ezekiel Elliott. Man, that's how they got him. Tony Romo went down. And it made Dak Prescott life a lot easier with Ezekiel Elliott running the ball. It made Dez Bryant life a lot easier. It made Cole Beasley a lot easier. Last year they didn't run the ball with Zeke without Zeke like that last year. And they missed Zeke Elliott. Zeke Elliott single-handedly made the defense look better. Zeke Elliott made Dak look better. Zeke Elliott made Cole Beasley, Jason Witten's job better. That's the type of impact that I'm hoping, Kerryon Johnson have. We have probably one of the best secondaries in the league too. Yeah, you talking about Antoine Riley? You talking about depth? I mean, check out the depth in the secondary, man. This is off the top of my head. You got Tavon Wilson. I think you might still have Don Kerryon there. Both of those are capable plug-in starters. You got Miles Killebrew. You got Glover Quinn. You got Tracy Walker. Those are just the safeties, okay? You got Tease Tabor. You still got Nevin Lawson. You still got Deshaun Shedd. You still got Jamal Agnew. You still got Quadre Diggs. You still got Darius Slate. That's depth. And that's the thing about the Patriots, too. The Patriots always had good corners. Always had very, very good corners. So they got the secondary. They got to produce a pass rush and stop the run. That's important for the defense. But the running game, that's the point that they really have to just focus on. And Frank Ragnow, we haven't talked about that. Famously known on this channel as Frank Who Gives a Fuck, excuse my language, because I was mad when they first drafted him. But I understood when they drafted him the second pick. I came back and apologized. Said, I remember sitting with my grandpa, and he says the reason the Lions can't run the ball is because of Dominic Raiola. And what's so funny about it is the Lions had their most successful running season when Dominic Raiola beefed up on muscle. When he got big and stopped getting blown back in the backfield. Pay attention last year to the center position. I wish I could run the tape without getting a copyright issue. The point of attack, the Lions couldn't run in between the tackles because the center kept getting blown back, Travis Swanson. So you got to get that push, and Frank Ragnow was the right guy. That interior push, now you got a healthy 2J Lane, Graham Glasgow, Frank Ragnow, whoever plays center guard. That push in the middle is going to help them run the ball a lot better, man. You know what I'm saying? And if your center not getting leverage at the point of attack, you're not going to be able to run the ball. And that's been the issue with them as well. The running game, so they can control the clock throughout the game better. So hopefully Johnson can't get good yards on first down. Hopefully he can get good yards on first down. E7 Mile Hustler 313. He going to have to have positive yards on first down. You know what I'm saying? Because if he don't, Lil Gary Blount going to have to do it. But, yeah, they have to get positive yards. A lot of people are not going to know how to play the Lions this year. The Lions going to be unpredictable this year because you got a new regime, a new scheme coming in. And you see with the Rams, when people couldn't catch on to the Jared Goff, Sean McVay scheme last year, they couldn't crack it, My dog. They couldn't crack the scheme. So, now they're going to be surprising a lot of teams. And a lot of teams going to know, they look at the offense and say, man, we got a lot of these receivers and these running backs that can catch. It's going to be opportunity for Kerryon Johnson to win up front and LeGarrette Blount. A lot of teams going to say, well, you know what? This the Lions. I mean, we got to put 7-8 in the box no more. And, they should eat. Because they're going to get a lot of 7-man fronts. They don't get a lot of 8-man, 9-man boxes because people fear what Marvin Jones can do on the outside. People fear Golden Tate on the inside. People fear Kenny Galladay now, because all Kenny Galladay got to do is put on muscle. And he has some durability, man. Just get stronger, get ready for the NFL grind. And come in shape a little bit more and get them, get that muscle going. You know what I'm saying? He'd be all right. But Kerryon Johnson's going to be the single impactful guy, man. He's going to be very, very impactful. And if he misses on Kerryon Johnson and Darius Geis goes to blow up or Ronald Jones or, or Rashad Penny went before him, some of these other running backs blow up before him, the Lions will be the same old Lions. But I'm trying to tell you, I seen what Bob Quinn said in Kerryon Johnson. He's seen a durable workhorse running back that's powerful, that has vision, that's strong. He's seen a Le'Veon Bell. That's what he's seen. He's seen a Le'Veon Bell in him, a consistent runner as far as vision and picking his spots. He's not a runner that's predicated on speed. He's not a runner that's just predicated on power. He sees a football player. And when you get a football player at the running back position that can do a lot of different things, he can catch the ball in the backfield too. So he's a 3-down running back. And you put LeGarrette Blount in there, a guy as a safety net, they're going to have a good year, man. They're going to have a really, really good year. If they have a good year, Stafford should have a good year. If Stafford have a good year, then Golden Tate should get his contract. If Golden Tate get his contract, then the defense doing their job. So, we shall see. We shall see. Ragnow going to be a beast. That's a big guy. I didn't know how big Ragnow was, Flight 000. Now known as Frank, I give lots of fuck. Yeah, I like Frank, man. I just didn't like the center pick in the first round, but when they made the center pick, I'm like, man, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? You know, I could have got this guy, that guy. And then I seen a running back pick in the second round, which I didn't think they was going to pick a running back in the second round. You know what I'm saying? And I see Kerryon Johnson. I did the spotlight on him. I liked him a lot, man. I really, really like Kerryon Johnson on tape. And somebody, you know, borrowed one of my clips from a college network about Kerryon Johnson because I liked him a lot, man. So it makes sense. I was mad because Darius Geis picked, but I just seen about all the ignorant stuff that he was doing and stuff. And hopefully it wasn't true about the meetings up. Do you think getting rid of Eric Ebron was a good move? What do you think about the tight end position? The tight end position was good in that path, but what do you think right now? I like it. I like Luke Wilson. Luke Wilson's one of the guys I like. I watch Seattle a lot because gradually over the years, Seattle got more TV time. You know, and Russell Wilson became a star. And Luke Wilson was a guy that always just popped out on the screen, man. Seriously, man. I'll say this, man. I didn't even know he was a local product or somewhere around here, Ontario, whatever the hell he's from. You look at him, man, and he's always catching deep balls down the field. I mean, when you say it's Russell Wilson rolling out, improvising, chucking downfield, Luke Wilson would always catch it. Yeah, you probably have a drop or two there, but I haven't seen him drop it. But he's a big play receiver down the field. So being with Russell Wilson, he still made more plays than Jimmy Graham, in my opinion, but that's another question for another day. But being Russell Wilson, it's no real timing. It's not a timing quarterback. It's an improvised quarterback. And he's with a timing quarterback in Matthew Stafford. It should help. And I'm glad they didn't draft a tight end last year with David Njoku or this year. You know what I'm saying? Or Evan Ingram. Even though Evan Ingram started to tear it up and got injured because Evan Ingram had no other choice but to tear it up because everybody else in the New York offense was dead. You know what I'm saying? Odell Beckham, Sterling Shepard, Brandon Marshall. Everybody was hurt. They didn't have a running back. So he had to lean on Evan Ingram, you know what I'm saying? So, of course, he had a big year, but tight ends take a long time to adjust to the league. I mean, you didn't hear about a rookie Jimmy Graham or you didn't hear about a rookie Antonio Gates, even though he was a hooper. You don't hear about a lot of rookie tight ends, man. They got the kid from Atlanta who's a good blocker. They got Luke Wilson and Michael Roberts, a guy that a lot of people forget that was the #1 red zone target in the MAC. I like Michael Roberts. Big hands. They say he's doing well in camp. He physically looked like he put a little bit more muscle on. He's a big kid. He's not the quickest, you know what I'm saying? I think he's more mobile than Brandon Pettigrew, but he got real hands. He got real hands. He got big mitts. Biggest hands at the combine, I believe it was last year. So, I like it. I mean, Ebron, he had to go, man. If you watch Eric Ebron, dog, he would drop a pass, and it would demoralize the whole team. And not only did it demoralize the whole team, it dropped the morale of the team down, man. It really did. It dropped the morale really, really bad. When he dropped the ball, it was one game when he dropped the ball in the end zone. They threw it to Daniel Fields at some point in the game. Right after that, he dropped the ball in the end zone. It's contagious. He dropped the ball. Everybody else was dropping the ball. So at the end of the day, he was a cancer to the team, man. And you know, I hope he do good in Indianapolis, man. I really do, man. But I like the tight end position right now, man, because they couldn't draft another tight end this year, man. They had to go get Luke Wilson. I wanted them to get Jimmy Graham or the kid from the Philly. I can't remember his name. Trey Burton. That's his name. But Chicago got Trey Burton, and we end up with Luke Wilson. He's fast. You know, he's a real long strider tight end. And Michael Roberts there as well. Don't forget about him. What do you think about LeGarrette Blount? I don't care. I can't spell his name either. I always still copy and paste it. I like LeGarrette Blount. Like I said, LeGarrette Blount is an older veteran running back who don't have no miles on him. He has very little miles. He fresh and he's fast. He got long speed. LeGarrette Blount can break us, man. He's a special athlete, and I like him picking him up. At the very least, he gives you a short yardage power back. He don't give you a Zach Zenner guy who run with power but smarter. He gives you a legit banger inside the tackles, and he's a guy that give you speed. He got to bring championship pedigree. He got a winning attitude, and he's a guy that can preach to the younger guys that look here. I went through some things. I punched a guy in college, and I was smoking weed with Le'Veon Bell, got suspended. I've been through my ups and downs. You need veterans like that, man. You need championship pedigree veterans that's a little rough around the edges, and that's LeGarrette Blount. Also, Abdullah got to go by the end of the preseason if we can't trade him. No, I wouldn't get rid of him. I wouldn't get rid of Ameer Abdullah. Only way I'd get rid of Ameer Abdullah if we was able to keep Tion Green, you know. But we didn't keep Tion Green. I wouldn't get rid of Ameer Abdullah. He got too much value, man. You know, that's a fourth running back. Why not? I'll get rid of Zach Zenner if I got rid of Ameer Abdullah. Ameer Abdullah give you turn, punt, kick. He can catch off the backfield, give you a slot receiver. I mean, I wouldn't get rid of him. I wouldn't give him what he wants. He still bring value to the team. He goes, maybe this new running scheme, anybody think about maybe this new running scheme they running and this new emphasis on running the ball, maybe it helps him out too. You never know. He might emerge as the starter running back. Maybe this new scheme help him too. He got talent. He definitely got talent. Fumbles. And he's just not comfortable in the offense. And we all can agree that the Lions didn't know how to run the ball under Caldwell. They didn't know how to run the ball under Schwartz. They didn't know how to run the ball, man. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know how to run the ball. So back to basics might help him as well too. I think Ebron was good last year. He was coming into his own. It was a big weapon they let go. Nah, he wasn't coming to his own. Ebron started catching balls when it didn't matter. It's easy to catch the ball when you're not in the playoff contention. You're not playing winning football, man. No, he still dropped a lot of balls last year. He had to go. He was never gonna get it together with us, man. Let's just face the reality. He never was gonna get it together. He never was the threat we needed in the middle of the field. Nobody ever really cared about letting him run through the zone on men because they knew he was gonna drop it. He never was what we needed him to be. So, from my opinion, I had to let him go because when he dropped the ball, everybody else dropped the ball. He just never really got it. And then he walked around with that nonchalant attitude is where he didn't really care. The problem with Ebron was his drops were that they were always really important catches that they needed to make. Exactly. Even if the score was 0-0, which is, I can't remember what game it was late in the season, Stafford put it right on his numbers, he dropped it. And then Darren Fields came behind him and dropped another one. That was contagious dropping. He was just contagious like a disease, but it's just like he's just another Pettigrew. He made the tough catches sometimes, but he dropped the simplest of catches, man. And also he didn't block. Nobody had the game plan for Eric Ebron. Nobody cared of Eric Ebron. He never made any deep catches. All his catches was on little flat routes, and I just couldn't stand the guy, man. After a while, man, I couldn't stand him. 7 Mile Hustler 313. I agree. Ebron used to drop a lot of open passes, critical time, and then not only that, it would just be contagious. It's demoralizing with the drops that he would make, the timing of them. And the whole crowd would go boo, and then somebody else drop and they go boo. You cussing at your TV screen. But by Fred Jackson, what did he do, man? By him but by him again drafted in the top 10, he's a bum. I think he meant a bum. Yeah. I hate to say, we talk about all the fatal draft picks the Pistons made as far as taking Stanley over Devin Booker, KCP over Giannis Antetokounmpo over Rudy Gobert, Darko over Carmelo, Bosh, Wade. We could go on and on. But, Ebron over Aaron Donald and Odell Beckham Jr. got to rank amongst one of the worst draft nights for us, man. Oh, Dwayne Washington? I don't know. He's still on the roster, so they still believe in him. He's a big guy. He can run. But he just don't have the skill set to be an NFL running back. But he can return kicks, too. Matty, yeah, he could return. Dwayne Washington is young. I think they can. I think they think about Dwayne Washington is reaching his untapped potential, man. Flight 000. We will have a great combo of running backs, 2 power backs and 2 speedsters. Yep, and a fullback. Yep. The Carolina game, he dropped a winning touchdown. So did Phil. Yeah, that's the game. The musician, that's the game. Oh yeah, I remember that game. Yep. Ebron dropped it first, and Daniel Fields dropped it, man. You know what I'm saying? So, I remember that. Yep, that's what it was, man. It's pitiful, man. Ebron never had an impact like he was supposed to, man. But maybe Indianapolis, they can get something out of him, though. But like I said, man, Kerryon Johnson is going to be very, very important, man. You know how you draft? You know how a general manager drafts a running back, drafts a quarterback, and he linked at the hip with the quarterback for the rest of his career? This is that situation with Bob Quinn, man. He's linked at the hip with Kerryon Johnson for the rest of the year, unless Dwayne Washington and Ameer Abdullah have a resurgence or emergence, But Kerryon Johnson is definitely the star of this draft class. I think the sleeper is Tracy Walker. But for Tracy Walker, he's going to have to put muscle on, man. It's going to be a while. You're going to have to wait on Tracy Walker, though. But his ball skills are good, and that's why they drafted him. But he's going to put some muscle on. How, Dr. Fu, how many times we let somebody go and then they come help their team? Man, dog, Joey Harrington. Shit, man. And Dominican Sue. Didn't he come back here with Miami or some shit like that? No, he wasn't there with Miami at that time. Man, it had been too many times that shit happened, man. Cliff Averill, I think he came back. I'm not sure, but it been too many times that shit. I remember Joey Harrington came back and sliced us up. I never forget that. But it happens. It happens. At least Eric Ebron in the AFC. I don't think he played the Colts this year. and his quarterback is injured. 2010 again, man. Do you think they will run a goal line play with two fullbacks and Blount as a back? Oh, you talking about the like the wishbone or the full house? That would be beautiful lined up with a fee with free yards for. Yeah, he talking about the full house. I wish I like the full house. I run that shit on Madden. What's going on, Scott Young? Yeah, full house. They should. They got to get to power football, man. I mean, power O. I mean, smash mouth, pulling the guards. They got to come with a new identity for their offense. The Lions' offense is seen as too pretty and too clean and too touchy and it's not. No, they need to be a grimy, smash mouth, push you in the mouth running game, man. And Stafford is tough, man, but like I said, he can't keep dropping back 50 times a game, man. Antoine Riley just reminded me Sue is coming back for the first time this year. I'll be hella salty if the Rams beat the Rams. Got a good team. They got a dream team, but they got a lot of holes in their team, man. That's why they probably drafted Frank Ragnow. Because Dominican Sue is a load in the middle. Aaron Donald's a load in the middle, even though he's sitting out again because they won't pay him. So, they're going to have their hands full with that lineup, though, man. But, like I said, there's holes in that defense, man. They got rid of a lot of linebackers. They got rid of Robert Quinn, their best edge rusher. They cornerbacks, and, Khalib is a good cornerback. He getting older. Marcus Peters is a gambler. He can get beat. LaMarcus Joyner, he's a good one. But that team is far from unbeatable, man. It's a good team. But we'll see. But I'll be mad too, but, Sue. Treat Kerryon Johnson as a Marshall Ford type of running catch guy. Yeah. He can do both. He can do that as well. But they classify him as a 3-down back, and he's a 3-down back on film. I've seen it with my own eyes. He's a 3-down back. So I mean, as a rookie, you want to lighten the load up on him. I definitely agree. Let LeGarrette Blount and Reddick Abdullah, Washington, whoever handles some carries as well. But if he is running the ball and he having a lot of success, like the Bengals with Joe Mixon last year, he gonna get the majority of the runs. If he's the best running back, LeGarrette Blount will compliment him, and Kerryon won't compliment LeGarrette Blount because you got to go with the high hand. But we'll see, man. There's a lot of hope and prayers in that guy, man. This team definitely rides on his back, but he can definitely catch the ball at the backfield. So it ain't like it's a situation where, you got a LeGarrette Blount in the backfield. You know that he probably going to be pass blocking or he going to be running the ball up the middle. With Kerryon Johnson, either or, I'm telling you, he's like a Le'Veon Bell type, man. Le'Veon Bell, man. And you got some good competition in the NFC as well, too, man. You got Dalvin Cook coming back, being healthy. I like Dalvin Cook. I don't really care for the Vikings that much. But the Williams kid for Green Bay, whatever running back rookie they drafted, and Chicago got the kid Cohen and Jordan Howard. They might have the best 1-2 punch in the NFC North, man. If we start the season 3-2 and end it 3-2, we will be in the playoffs. Rough starts, even worse ending. Okay. Yeah, he said my hustle 3-1. Do you think Darius Slay should have been ranked higher? And see, I'm just getting back watching the top 100, man. I haven't been taping on my DVR because I've been working late night, so probably so. But I hope Glover Quinn is ranked higher than I hope Glover Quinn is ranked higher than that though, because Glover Quinn is one of the most underappreciated guys in the NFL, man. I don't know how Houston let that man go, but yeah, Lions should be good this year, man. I hope so, man. And hopefully the injury bug don't bite us. And hopefully Stafford can get on track and get on pace, and Kerryon Johnson can support him as well. Love doing these Saturday streams, man. But I gotta go ahead and get up out of here. Next Saturday, hopefully earlier, we're gonna do another stream, man. But I'm definitely gonna drop some more videos today for you guys. Appreciate all the support. But here we go, one more question. Here we go. Scott Young, if you think about it, we beat a lot of playoff teams last year: Rams, Jags, and Super Bowl. The Super Bowl champs beat them. A big play Slay has Carson's first NFL pick, but we coming. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, he do got, yeah, Slay, Glover Queen, yeah, we coming. I'm interested to see the scheme the defense run. I'm interested to see, I'm interested to see everything. I want to see the growth between, what's the guy's name? Bob Cooter from last year and this year. Oh, yeah, I'll do a Pistons chat. I was talking about combining them today, but I was a little bit strapped for time, yeah. I might come back later tonight and do a Pistons chat, dog. I guess we could talk about that. Jason Kidd interview today. Jeff Bowers got let go, like I told you guys. And I think the former Dookie, Tanjan Landon, I don't know the guy's name, he's going to probably be the Pistons GM. So he was from the Spurs scouting department, Got an assistant GM job in the Brooklyn Nets. Former Dookie, 3 years with the Cavaliers. Went overseas to hoop. So should be interesting. Interesting. But Pistons chat later then. If I can fit it in, I will do a Pistons live chat later. It's gonna come. We gonna.